Hey Ms Gia's class. So today our science video is going to have two really fun experiments for you guys to do. Now, as you can see, I'm not in my teaching area in my apartment, but I'm in my kitchen because this experiment is going to require some things that you would find in your kitchen. For example, pepper. I took pepper and I crushed it into this bowl of water. So you can see that there's a lot of pepper in here. We're going to mix it up so that it's all floating nice in the water. You can do this experiment at home too. Just make sure you ask mom or dad for help. You can also ask an older brother or sister, friend or family, whoever is in the house with you. Now this video is going to show us why it's so important to wash our hands. Right? Maybe you've seen this video before, but I thought it'd be fun to just do it myself because I've seen it, but I've always wanted to try it. So we took our pepper, it's floating in our water. Now, the issue with washing our hands is that we want to get rid of all the germs that are on our hands, especially now because there's something that most of you have heard of, if not all of you have heard of it, called the coronavirus. So this is a virus that is floating around in the air or sometimes on your clothes or the clothes of other people, and it gets passed. And the best way to fight it right now is to wash your hands. Okay? If you go outside, if you go play, if you're in contact with people that don't live in your house, you need to wash your hands. Why? Well, because if you don't wash your hands, the virus stays on your hands, the germs stay on your hands, and then if you touch your nose or your mouth or your eyes or other people, you might get them sick or you might get sick. So the best idea, always but especially now, is wash your hands. Let's take another example. We have our bowl here with our pepper water, and we're going to mix it up so all of the pepper is floating. Now I want you to use your imagination and pretend that the pepper is a virus. So each little black piece is part of a virus, okay? And they're all floating around here. Now, let's say I don't wash my hands, right? And I just stick my finger in there. Now, look what happens. Why is it not working? What the hell? Now, look what happens. If I stick my finger in this water with the virus and take it out, you see that now my finger has pepper on it. It's like my finger has germs or the virus on. Okay, so if I don't wash my hands, that means that the virus can stay on my hands. Let's see what happens. I now put some soap on my hands. Okay, we're going to put it on my finger. And let's see what happens if I put my finger. Whoa, that was really cool. Did you guys see that? Let me give you a close-up. So, look at all this pepper here. If I put my finger in, do you see how it's moving away from my finger? And I have nothing on my finger. Let me show you one more time. Look at all this pepper over here. I put my finger in. Bzzz, I'm controlling it. I'm pushing it away. And my finger stays clean. Wow. That's really cool. So that just shows you how important it is to use soap when you're washing your hands. And it's important to wash your hands. Okay, let's check out another experiment. Okay, Ms Gia's class. So, before we get to our next experiment, there's something I have to explain to you so that you understand why we're doing this next experiment. Now, when we talk about a virus has a shape. It has a specific form. And it usually is the same with all viruses. So whether it's the regular flu, coronavirus, any other virus that we might find in our body, it has a very similar shape. There's these parts. Now, I don't expect you to remember this, don't worry. The one thing you need to remember is that this viral envelope, so the part that surrounds the important part of the virus, this viral envelope is made of something that is a fat. Something that is a fat can be considered like an oil, like butter, something that is kind of, when you touch it, it's a little slimy, it makes your hands slippery. That is what is on the outside of a virus. Now, this is the reason why it's so important to use soap. Because regular water and oil or fats, they don't fight each other. If you've ever had oil on your hands and then you try to wash your hands, the oil doesn't really come off. Your hands still feel slippery. If you use soap, the soap helps to fight the oil and to eliminate it from your hands. The same idea is with the virus. If we eliminate the envelope, the virus dies because there's nothing to protect the DNA or the important part of the virus. So, if we eliminate this red circle, the envelope, which is made of something that's like oil or butter, and that's slippery, and soap kills it, we leave this part, the capsid and the DNA, this part is open, and it dies. And that's how we eliminate the virus on our hands, by using soap. Let's see this in the kitchen. Okay friends, so for this experiment, you're going to need something that's an oil or butter. You can ask mom or dad or someone in your house to help you with this, please, because it's a little messy. So, I'm going to take this, and this is oil, and it's a similar material to what covers the important part of a virus. So I'm going to put a little bit onto my hands, and I'm going to rub my hands together. Ugh. So you can see that my hands are kind of shiny, right? They are covered with this oil, and my hands are slippery, and it's very difficult to get off. It's kind of like, I feel like my hands will never be clean. So let's try washing my hands just with water. Look how shiny my hands are. All of this oil on my hands. So if I only use water, do you see how the water is sticking on the top of my fingers? It's not going through the oil. I can just take this off and the oil is still there. You see how there are little drops of water? So, the water alone, it doesn't get rid of the oil. The oil is still on my hands, and the water cannot go through the oil. Alright, well that's not good, because as we know, the virus needs this oil around the virus to protect it. So we have to get rid of the oil around the virus. How do we do that? Well, let's put a little bit of soap, antibacterial soap, and we'll wash our hands and we'll get it all in there. Remember, we gotta wash all the parts of our hands. Like this, we gotta wash our thumb, get all of that off. Okay, let's turn on the water. Okay, do you see now how my hands have no drops on them because the water is going through and being absorbed by my skin? So there's no more oil. Do you see my hands are not shiny anymore? They're shiny from water, but I can take that off. I can take the water off. They're not slippery anymore. They're just regular skin. So soap is really good because it cuts through the oil, or the outside of the virus. And that helps us to eliminate the virus. So we always need to use soap when we wash our hands. You can try this at home and let me know what happens. Are your results different than mine? Are they the same? Do you guys use a special kind of soap when you wash your hands? Let me know. Okay, Ms. Gia's class, I hope you enjoyed those two experiments. I'm sure someone at home would be happy to help you recreate them, and then you can send me videos of your results. Now, let's remember the three important things. 1, it's very important right now to wash our hands. 2, not only do we wash our hands, but we wash them with soap. right? Because we want to get rid of this viral envelope. We want to eliminate the virus. And 3, it's important that if we cough or sneeze, we always cover our mouth. Achoo! If you want to make it fancy, you can do a dab. Achoo! Alright? But the important thing is to remember to cover. Because we don't want to achoo! Spread our germs everywhere. This is something that Miss Krista talks about in her science video. So I'm going to add the link in the description below and you can check it out. Alright, so like I said, send me videos of you doing some experiments and let me know how things are going. Stay healthy, stay safe, and stay in touch. Bye!